Once upon a time, in a small village nestled on the lush banks of the sacred Aji River, there lived a remarkable young girl named Nneka. Even as a child, it was said that she held the wisdom of the river in her gaze and the courage of the forest in her heart. Nneka was the daughter of Obinna and Nkechi, two revered elders whom the villagers sought for guidance in times of great need. Her intelligence, kindness, and fearlessness made her the pride of her people, but even they could not foresee the journey that would define her legacy. Before we dive deeper into Nneka's incredible tale, make sure to subscribe to Storytime Africa. Here, we bring to life the legends and mysteries of this vast and magical continent. Get ready for a story of courage, wisdom, and the unbreakable bond between humanity and nature. Let's begin. The villagers of Aji lived in harmony with the sacred river, its cool waters sustaining their crops and filling their nets with bountiful fish. But the river was more than a source of life. It was the home of Aya Aji, the revered spirit of the waterway. Every year, the villagers held an elaborate festival in honor of Aya Aji, offering songs, dances, and gifts to appeal for the spirit's blessings. This year's preparations were filled with palpable excitement. The rhythmic pounding of drums echoed through the village square, while women adorned in bright waist wrappers wove crowns of flowers and carried woven baskets of offerings. Yet beneath the surface of joy was a growing unease. Strange signs had begun to appear. The river's once abundant flow dwindled to a mere trickle. Fish floated lifeless on the surface, the crops withered as if cursed, and many villagers whispered that they could feel the river's anger carried on the wind. Panic spread as the elders called for a gathering. In the middle of the square, the council debated the sudden misfortune. Wise old Ikin spoke gravely. Aya Aji has spoken through the river. Her anger is great. We must uncover the cause before it is too late. After hours of tense deliberation, a chilling truth emerged. Deep within the ancient forest, past the trees so densely packed they felt like walls, an Ogbanj, a feared shape-shifting spirit of chaos, had come to the river. Its presence had polluted the sacred waters, angering Aya Aji and threatening the very survival of the village. The Ogbanj was no ordinary spirit. Legends described it as a creature that could change its form at will. A serpent, a bird with talons sharp enough to pierce stone, or even a monstrous lion with fiery breath. It wielded terror like a weapon, often driving those who had ventured into its domain to madness before any blows could be struck. The villagers were paralyzed by fear. Who could battle a creature so formidable? The elders, though wise, were frail and could not undertake such a mission. The young men, despite their strength, grew pale at the thought of confronting the Ogbanj. Then, through the murmuring crowd, Nneka stepped forward. "I will go," she said, her voice steady despite the heaviness in the air. "I will face the Ogbanj and restore balance to our river." Gasps filled the square. She was only a girl, yet her bravery humbled even the fiercest warriors. Obinna and Nkechi hesitated, their hearts torn between protecting their child and trusting her destiny. Finally, her father handed her his spear, its tip glinting in the sunlight. Her mother tied a protective charm around her neck, woven with strands of hair and cowries blessed by the priestess. With the elders' blessing and the hopes of her people behind her, Nneka set off into the forest. The forest was a labyrinth of green, ancient trees with gnarled roots that snaked across the ground like predatory vines. Mists curled up from the damp earth, whispering secrets too old to be understood. Nneka moved cautiously, her senses tuned to the rhythm of the land. The forest was alive, its sounds and scents mingled to form a symphony. But deeper inside lay a creeping darkness. She felt the Ogbanj's malevolent energy lurking, waiting. As she ventured further, the forest revealed its wisdom. A tortoise, aged and steady, crept onto her path and spoke, "Child of the river, do not let haste be your downfall. The Ogbanj thrives on confusion and can take any form it desires. Wisdom is the weapon stronger than might." Then, a parrot descended from a tree, its feathers shimmering so brightly they seemed like jewels. "Know your heart," it squawked with piercing clarity. "It will illuminate the truth amidst deception." Days passed as Nneka's courage carried her deeper into the forest's terrifying unknown. She encountered eerie sights: a tree stripped of its bark, pulsating as if it had veins, and a chilling howl in the night wind that seemed to echo her fears. The knowledge gifted by the forest creatures anchored her spirit, but doubt crept in. Was she strong enough to face something beyond human understanding? A lesser soul might have turned back, but Nneka pushed forward, clinging to the belief that the river itself had chosen her for this journey. Finally, she reached a clearing bathed in moonlight so pale it seemed almost silver. There, waiting with a horrifying stillness, was the Ogbanj. It slithered out from the shadows, a serpent with scales blacker than midnight, its unblinking eyes glowing like embers. As their gazes met, it let out a hiss that sent a chill down Nneka's spine. In an instant, the creature shifted into a lion, its mane afire and its breath scorching pockets of earth. Nneka clutched her spear, but she did not charge. She remembered the tortoise's warning. The Ogbanj transformed over and over, a bird that swooped low with razor-sharp talons, a shadow as tall as the moon that seemed to have no end, a swarm of fireflies that buzzed so loudly it drowned thought itself. Nneka closed her eyes, desperate to find the truth. The river's pulse surged through her veins, and suddenly she saw the enemy's weakness, a trembling heartbeat tied to its core. No matter the shape, no matter the deception, there was only one true form. As the Ogbanj shifted again, Nneka struck. Her spear penetrated the scaled chest of the serpent, the creature's original form. A deafening shriek reverberated through the forest. The Ogbanj exploded into smoke and ash, dissipating into the night air. For a brief moment, the forest was silent, a breathless reverence for Nneka's triumph. Then, the life around her surged again, the rustling of leaves, the songs of distant birds, and the scent of blooming flowers carried on the wind. The curse had been lifted. Back in the village, the river swelled with life once more. Fish leaped joyously in the waters, crops sprouted anew, and laughter returned to the weary villagers. When Nneka emerged triumphantly from the forest, the entire village erupted in celebration. Drums roared louder than storms, and children danced while elders sang praises. A feast unlike any before was held, a feast not just of thanksgiving but of renewal. Nneka sat among her people, no longer just a child but a symbol of the harmony between humanity and nature, a daughter of the river whose bravery would inspire generations to come. And so, the legend of Nneka, the daughter of the river, was born. Her story reminds us of the power of intelligence, bravery, and respect for the natural forces that surround us. If you enjoyed Nneka's journey, be sure to subscribe to Storytime Africa for more tales filled with richness, culture, and wonder. What did you learn from Nneka's courage? Could you face the Ogbanj? Let's talk in the comments below. Until next time, keep the stories alive, and remember, the river of wisdom never runs dry.